Hi, this is Smita, and you're watching Medicircle. Today, on our healthcare startup series, we have yet another exciting healthcare startup with us. So, he's Amit Choudhary, and he's the co founder and CEO of Dost. Dost is a Jaipur based startup omni-channel pharmacy and retail chain for generic medicines. It enables consumers save up to 50 to 80% on high quality and branded medicines. Presently, Davados has around 66 stores in Rajasthan, Karnataka, Telangana, and Maharashtra, and it's also offering services in other parts of India. So let's know from Amit more about Davados. Hi, Amit. Welcome to Medicircle.
Thank you so much, Smita, for having me. Pleasure speaking to you today.
Same here. So, Amit, as the co-founder of Davados, tell us what problem is it solving?
So, Smita, primarily there are four problems that we've identified on medicine part of healthcare. So, Davados literally means medicine friend. And we just want to be your friend on solving medicine part of the problem. So, number one problem is affordability. Now, it's a very paradoxical question because India is the largest medicine supplier in the world. We manufacture close to 12 to 15% of what globally is consumed. But 68% of people in India can't afford their medicine. They don't have access to that medicine. So our promise to all our customers is very simple, saying, come work back with us. I will help you find more than 50% saving on your entire prescription for your entire life. And that's our first promise to consumers, saying, join Davados family. And we look at every customer as a family member, and you will save for your lifelong pieces this savings. Second part of the problem, Smita, is availability of medicine. India is give or take 130, 140 crore people in India. The entire availability is inversely pyramid, right? So, in a large city, you will have availability as a non-issue. But as you go deeper into the country, what we call Bharat part of India, वहाँ पे दवाई मिलती नहीं है. Like the problem shifts from affordability to availability, and then those two we are again very focused on providing this medicine and this service to maximum reach in India. And our 2025 goal is to reach 100 crore people in India, and nobody has ever done that. But that's something that we aspire to do at our end. The third piece, Smita, and this will probably resonate well with you and the mission that you run, is to provide awareness around medicines to consumers. I know you do a great job of providing awareness around healthcare. So today we are the largest content owner on what is this medicine globally, and not just in India. So we have 750,000 videos in 6 different regional languages of India on a platform called Medwiki. हमारे पास लोग आके पूछते थे स्मिता कि दवाई क्या है, एक कंफ्यूजन होता था, डॉक्टर दवाई लिखते हैं, फिर आपको मालूम नहीं है कि दवाई लिखा क्या है, क्यों लिखा है, क्या करती है दवाई. So we build this in multiple languages, and we are trying to answer all the questions. 2025, Smita, we will have more than 1 billion, and I'm repeating, more than 1 billion questions being answered by Davados across the world. We really want to own this content library and answer all possible questions on the medicine part of healthcare. The last problem, Smita, we are solving on medicine journey is on adherence. इंडिया में 7-8% लोग ही ऐसे हैं जो दवाई समय पे लेते हैं as been prescribed to them, and we created a simple nudge to them saying कि आपको कॉल आता है saying अच्छा गुड मॉर्निंग स्मिता, आपने दवाई ले ली क्या? No selling, nothing, like there is no ऐसा, it is not a marketing practice for us, but we just want to remind you to take your medicine on time. Because India में बड़ी curses है, like we are the diabetes capital of the world, we are the hypertension capital of the world, we are soon becoming cancer capital of the world. Not great things to own, right? But and उसमें सबसे, because these are progressive diseases, आपको समय पे दवाई लेना and protecting yourself early in the journey is very critical. And इसलिए हमने ये nudge app बनाया जहाँ से we call you to remind you to take medicines on time. So these are the 4 elements that हम काम कर रहे हैं on trying to make medicines work for you.
Tell us something about that. There are not many other pharmacy retail chain also available. I mean, they are present in India. Some of them being Wellness Pharma. There are lot many, and Midlife is there, Apollo is there. So, what is your USP and how you are able to differentiate from the biggies which are already there in this market?
Yes. So, Smita, example I'll give is comparing a bank with an NBFC. दोनों lending business करते हैं. So yes, both me and Apollo sell medicine. But my promise to consumer is very different. So when you walk into a Dava Dost, you are assured of saving more than 50% or more on your prescription. That is a promise that nobody else gives. Yes, my stores will have an orange India ka triangle, India ka tiranga ka colors hai on my stores. But so we look differently, we will feel differently. But in the end, we are selling medicine. But the promise of when you walk into an Apollo store, the promise to you at an Apollo store is say you will save 10% on your prescription, etc. through a complex program. We are a very simple saying कि भाई आप कीजिए 50% के ऊपर saving आएगी. Now it is your choice whether you want to enjoy the 50% saving, your choice not to enjoy the 50% saving. I am not judging you. And that's where the Dost part of Dava Dost becomes relevant. Saying we are a friend. We are here to tell you, we are not here to push you into one corner to do one thing.
That's great. So I was like, as in your website also, there's a lot of content, especially written as diabetes ki dawai ya BP medicine. That means rather than that, the medicine name most of the times it is not understandable by the common layman. But yes, here there is. I mean, you are awareing the people also. I think which is one big differentiator about the medicines. Also making them reminding them to take their medicines on time, because again, lot of people forget to take the medicines on time. So tell us, Amit, how many lives you have touched so far through Dava Dost?
So we've till date served around 3 crore people. That's our journey so far. On MedWiki, roughly 4 million people, so 40 lakh people see MedWiki every month on different platforms. So that's the other piece we are touching consumers.
That's great.
lot of people wanting to. So आप हमारी site देखेंगे तो it is a simple search bar. There is not too much complication. There's not too many messages.
मैंने अभी just search की तो मुझे बहुत ही easy और intuitive.
So हमारा है कि आप सर्च कर लो, खरीदना कहीं से हमारे से खरीदना अच्छा है. But again, as a friend, I want you to know that there is something available. You can choose to buy it from anywhere. Like if you are in Calcutta, I am not there. If you want to buy it in your local pharmacy, buy it. You will not get the price. That's a separate issue. But at least you're aware.
Definitely. And recently, Dava Dost also raised funds from Grameen Impact, and Impact that's focusing in BFCs, promoted by the Grameen Capital. So how are these funds going to be utilized?
Smita, we're using this to provide savings to consumers, and we picked up diabetes as a sub-therapy to do that. So we went back to Grameen and showcased them impact on 2 points. One is on what is called direct impact. So ये UN SDG 3 program के अंडर में है, where there is direct savings on the prescription. UN and WHO also has what they call indirect savings. So DALY is a concept you would have heard, disability adjusted life years. And so we are also impacting that, and we've showcased. So right now at a Grameen level, we are the best ROI from an impact funding perspective, and that's what we are working on. So we picked up diabetes, and we are working back with Grameen on that.
That's good. And like in India, where branded generic medicines has the largest market share, approximately 90%, followed by the trade generics around 8%, and also unbranded generics as well as original brand name drugs, both 1% share. So when building up and scaling up something which is already a very much crowded market, so how are you able to raise good revenues? So what was your revenues in FY 2022 and what you're planning to close at this end of the year, FY 2022?
We were close to $2 million of revenue last year. We will end this year at upward of $10 million revenue. So we typically grow 4x every year. So we know how to grow. We've known how to grow when we were a very small company. We are still a very small company. But our trajectory to grow and to reach $500 million revenue by 2026, 2027 is very much etched in stone. Like that's something that is non-compromisable. Because behind that is a simple promise, Smita, that I started with. I want to reach 100 crore people. I want to provide you 50% or higher saving. There's no more complication. I'm not saying I will do doctor consultation. I will not do 100 other things. There is no aspiration to build up a diagnostic chain, etc. So our promise and consumer understanding is very straightforward. इतना सा आता है इसको अच्छे से करते हैं and not overcomplicate things.
So as for a study, Amit, I would also be sharing here like how the pharmacy retail market is growing. So in terms of revenue, the pharmacy retail market in India was valued at 996.68 billion in 2016 and is projected to reach INR 2,330.2 billion by 2024, expanding at a CAGR of 10.08% during the 2019 to 2024 period. So the market seems it's high, majorly occupied, but a lot more, I mean, by unorganized and local players, where there's a share for every such startup, and also those who are trying to disrupt the market by offering solving some problems like availability and affordability, which is one of the key challenges of the healthcare market here in India. So as you are also growing, I have I think around 66 stores in Rajasthan and Karnataka, Telangana, and Maharashtra, and also offering its services in 19,000 plus pin codes across India. So what are your future expansion plans?
So, Smita, our expansion works on driving reach. आज के दिन we reach around 3 crore people a month. That's our reach today. We want to drive that to 20 crore people a month in the next 24 months. So that's our short-term plan. To reach there, it will mean digital reach, it will mean rural reach, it will mean physical reach. So combination of the three, we will get there. And that will accumulate into a business size as we spoke. That's our pathway to $500 million of business by 2027.
Wow. And one last question, Amit, there that as you have been also experienced a lot of learnings during your entrepreneurial journey, so do share some learnings with the fellow entrepreneurs who are watching this video today at Medicircle.
So, three learnings for me, Smita. Startup is a Ferrari ki savari. So if you don't know how to ride a Ferrari and you can't step out of a Ferrari and ride a bicycle also, because in a startup you need to do both. So as a founder, any fellow entrepreneur, I'm sure they are going through the same learning and journey. So we love to call it a Ferrari ki savari, saying it's very fast paced. You
Yes.
can't think of it differently. That's number one. Secondly, always find a good co-founder. Don't try and do everything alone. We are blessed with three founders ourselves, and it helps you think through things. It helps you pick up pace. That's the other advice I will give. I see a lot of people wanting to do it all by themselves, and adding more people is not a critique of your capability. It just enables, like 1 + 1 11 की story होती है typically on that side. And the third piece, which is very important, I have worked in a lot of MNCs, Smita. I'm not a 25-year-old startup guy. What I've learned is, growth comes with chaos, and we have to embrace chaos as we build companies, not fight it. But if we start fighting chaos, then we will not build, or we will build a suboptimal example. So, my advice and fellow entrepreneur is embrace chaos, encourage chaos. Like one of the guiding principles at Dost is, one is greater than zero, which means doing something is better than doing nothing. Like it's a simple, that's the number one principle that we have. कि ज़्यादा सोचो मत करो, mistakes करेंगे, 100% करेंगे, but out of the mistakes will come learning that we can reapply in future.
That's so cool to know, and especially the Ferrari ki savari, because as an entrepreneur you need to ride both a Ferrari and a cycle. Thank you so much, Amit, for joining us today at this healthcare startup series. As we see that India is growing. And we are seeing a lot of disruptions, especially a lot of startups entering into this retail pharmacy markets. According to this WHO report, I would like to share it here that half of the world's population is deprived of the standard healthcare coverage, and more than 95 million people are poverty ridden due to their medical bills, and almost 800 million people use most of their household budget on medicines, including India. Now that calls for such more startups like Dost, where their tagline is, I think, Daba Bhai Dham Sahi, because you need to definitely hit on this issue of affordability. Lot of people who need to take long time medicines for chronic diseases, they are not actually able to sometimes afford them due to the prices. So I think we definitely need more and more such startups so that the costs they can definitely bring down the cost and also the availability things, because there are a lot many pharmacies which are actually not available in the remotest areas of India. So thank you so much, Amit, for joining us today and
Thank you so much, Smita.
about
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.